I found the sheep rustlers. You were right. Those fellows in the forest cave did it. They'll never steal sheep from you again.
Thanks. You sure are a strange mercenary. Not at all like the others I know. Take this as a small token of thanks for the selfless favor you did for me. Very good. Here's a few gold coins. I hope it's enough.
When will I finally get my rent?
That was obvious all along.
Here's your 50 gold coins.
Well, it's about time. Where do you hang around all day?
You don't want to know.
Well, it's none of my business anyway.
Just have to listen.
Show me your wares.
Tell me.
Of course, sir.
I'm staying out of it.
I agree with you completely.
The things I could tell you.
That's not what I heard.
I couldn't get away with that.
That's really not my problem.
Hey! Show me your wares.
May Innos watch over you always.
Hey, you. Hey, you. Ever been to the monastery?
Maybe. Why?
Are they still taking on people? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. Since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
You'd better get off the road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
I can't let you into the monastery. I'll get in trouble with the High Council. Without the permission of my superiors, I can't let anyone into the monastery.
I've got a letter from Lord Hagen.
Show me. All right, here's the key to the monastery. Pyrocar is in the church.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garon's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that, but I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
You really should have known better.
That's totally obvious.
I couldn't care less.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who did this?
Evil is cunning, and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with him, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach. One more little thing. Stay away from the roadside shrines. We have heard that some of them have been desecrated. No one can say what effect they have now. It is not your task to solve this problem. The paladins will take care of this matter.
Any news?
No, nothing which you do not already know, brother.
Not so fast. I have another task for you. A mercenary for hire of your kind could be of use to us in this matter.
Whom should I kill?
For Inos's sake, no one, of course. This business demands a bit more finesse, you lout. Salandrill, the alchemist from the upper end of town, is guilty of a serious crime and must be punished for it. However, he has refused to come to the monastery to be judged. Bring him here. How you accomplish this does not matter to us. You will, of course, be rewarded.
No problem. I'll take care of it.
Good. We expect to hear from you in a few days.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Dismissed. You know what you have to do.
I don't want to hear that anymore.
I'm staying out of it.
Anything's
Hey.
possible.
How are the sheep?
How do you think they are? They stand around and munch grass.
Just what I said.
I'd rather know what's happening outside. The magicians seem to be very nervous.
Pedro
really think-
betrayed us.
I'd heard that, but I didn't know that you were aware of that too. That's why I didn't say
Never
anything.
would have thought.
Is the enemy stronger than us? I mean, can we defeat him?
Believe me.
We're not dead yet.
Some problems
Strangers in
solve
black
themselves.
robes roam the countryside.
What do you mean?
Things I
What
could
sort
tell
of
you.
strangers?
Nobody knows where they've come from.
That only
They wear
causes more
long
trouble.
black robes and they cover their faces. They seem to be some kind of magician. At least they're capable of magic.
That sounds very disturbing, but I'm sure that the High Council will solve this problem.
There are dragons in the Valley of Mines. They are besieging the royal troops together with the army of orcs.
Dragons? I always thought they only existed in horror stories.
They're there, believe me.
But the King's Paladins will deal with them, won't they?
We'll see.
That'll only cause more trouble.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
You can't go on like this forever.
He really should have known better.
You can't go on like this forever.
I do not know why you were allowed to
No
enter
idea,
the
you tell
monastery.
me.
I am Palin, and I am responsible for our novices.
wait and see what
I do not
happens.
want you to keep them from their work with stupid questions.
I used to say that myself.
Is that clear?
Sure.
I certainly hope so.
You just have to listen.
You don't have to ask me that.
It's no secret.
I have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
Same old thing all over again.
Anything's possible.
Been there, done that.
What are you doing here?
I must not speak with you. It's not looked on with favor if we talk to strangers.
Thinks it's as easy as that.
Who told you that?
That doesn't sound terribly happy.
Well, I mean, everything is just fine, really. Only, I don't want to complain.
He thinks it's
Oh, come on. You can tell me.
And you really won't tell the magicians?
Do I look like I would?
All right. I have a problem with one of the novices. He's got a hold over me.
Come on, spit it out then.
Igaraz, that's the novice, found some of my private papers. He threatened to give them to the magicians if I don't do what he says.
he really should
Maybe
have
I can
known
help
better.
you.
You would do that?
Well, that depends, of course.
Naturally, I'd pay you for that.
How much?
Of course, I don't have much money, but I could give you a spell scroll. I have a healing spell.
I used to say that myself.
I'll see what I can do.
Honestly, it just has to work. It has to. So, you only need to find out where Igaraz keeps the stuff. Then you swipe it from him, and everything will be just fine.
Relax. You just continue for now. I'll see to the rest.
There have been all kinds of rumors.
The things I could tell you.
Those are all just rumors.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
What can I do for you?
We need to talk about Babo.
Yes? What's wrong?
You've got something which belongs to Babo.
What might that be?
A few papers. Babo would like them back.
He would, wouldn't he? I can imagine. Unfortunately, I prefer to keep them, which brings us to a bit of a dilemma.
Do you really think? You already know what I think.
Nobody wants to know.
You already know what I think.
You don't have to tell me that.
That's totally obvious.
That's no secret.
Could have told you that before.
I used to say that myself.
You already know.
I've got your documents.
Really? Oh, thanks. You've saved me. I don't know how to thank you.
Yeah, just calm down.
Are they really mine? Are you sure? Show me. That'll only cause more trouble.
Based on the bare facts, the price has gone up.
You're no better than the others. What do you want?
What have you got?
I can give you 121 gold coins. That's all I have. Who told you that?
Agreed.
Here's the money and the spell scroll.
No.
I don't want to hear that anymore.
Been there, done that.
Can I be of assistance to you?
What's your task here?
My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar, and I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything you need, you can always come to me and get it. For a modest contribution, that is.
I need a few things.
Wait, mercenary, I need to talk to you.
What do you want?
The monastery is facing a very delicate situation. At the moment, everyone seems to mistrust everybody else. And then, this thing with Pedro, that's extremely... I have an assignment for you from the highest authorities. You're not a member of the Brotherhood of the Fire, and therefore, the only one here who can settle this matter for us. But I must warn you, if I give you this assignment, you'll be bound to fulfill it too. Once you know what it's about, you'll have no choice. Do you understand?
Tell me what you want.
All right, then listen well, for I'm only going to say this once. Serpentes wants you to kill Pedro for his treason. As soon as you lay your hands on him, you will be paid as soon as this task is fulfilled. I never said that, and you haven't heard anything either. Understand?
Things like that.
You should have known better.
Hey, you!
What? What's wrong? Why are you bothering me? Can't you see I'm in the middle of an extremely complicated experiment?
I didn't mean to disturb you.
You already have. Well, what do you want?